Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today we're looking at one of the absolute most thrilling and honestly most resilient comeback stories in the WNBA right now. If you follow the league at all, you know a player's trajectory, yeah, it's almost never a straight line. It is totally packed with peaks, valleys, and just completely unpredictable challenges. So we're mapping out the journey of Washington Mystic star Shakira Austin. We're going to dig into the raw data, the game logs, and the career milestones that tell the story of a superstar who literally just refused to be sidelined.
Let's drop right into the heat of the action. July 12, 2026. 27. That is the massive point total Shakira Austin dropped on the Seattle Storm. And look, in the modern WNBA, putting up 27 points against a defense like Seattle's, that's a massive statement. It was one of those games that just reminded everybody exactly who she is when she's fully healthy and completely commanding the paint.
Because she didn't just score 27 points. She totally dominated that 84-79 victory, and she did it with brutal efficiency, shooting 10 for 18 from the field. That means she wasn't just, chucking up high-volume, low-percentage shots. She was a highly efficient offensive engine. Actually, if you dig into the play-by-play data from that Sunday afternoon at Care First Arena, she scored the Mystics' opening basket right at the 9:13 mark of the first quarter. Just a driving, 5-foot layup off this perfectly timed assist from Kiki Riafen. She set that aggressive tone so early. You add in 3 assists, a block, and surviving 33 really grueling minutes on the floor, yeah, that's the whole shebang. A complete dominant performance. All right, Section 1, the making of a star, from high school phenom to the draft. To really get why this comeback is so wild, we gotta look at her early pedigree. From the very beginning, her seamless progression to elite status was just undeniable. Coming out of Riverdale Baptist School in Maryland as a highly touted McDonald's All-American, she hit the ground running at the University of Maryland. I mean, right out of the gate, in 2018, she set a school freshman record with a staggering 89 blocks. That's a rim protector arriving fully farmed, right? Then she transfers to Ole Miss and boom, wins the Gillum Trophy in 2021 as the best women's college basketball player in Mississippi. Oh, and she secured 2 first-team All-SEC honors along the way. All of this incredible collegiate momentum perfectly culminated in 2022 when the Washington Mystics drafted her 3rd overall. It was the straight, totally upward trajectory of a future franchise cornerstone. Which brings us to Section 2, battling through the injuries, the dark period. So, after a highly durable rookie season where she started 32 games, she unfortunately hit a wall. She entered the darkest, most frustrating period of her athletic career. She suffered a severe hip injury that required off-season surgery to repair a torn hip labrum. Now, anyone familiar with basketball mechanics knows how absolutely devastating a hip labrum tear is to a center's explosiveness and lateral movement. It's almost like taking the springs out of a mattress. The recovery is just grueling. And just as she tried to return for the 2024 season, the nightmare kind of continued. She had a hip re-injury, which was then compounded by a left ankle sprain late in the season, and that kept her largely off the court. The physical toll of this period is honestly staggering. Think about this. In 2022, she was an Iron Woman. She played all 36 games. But over the next 2 full seasons, 2023 and 2024, she managed to play only 31 games combined. That's 19 games in 23 and just 12 games in 24. For a player who was drafted 3rd overall to be this foundational piece for the team, spending more time in rehab than on the active roster, well, that is an immense psychological and physical hurdle to overcome. But she absolutely refused to give up. Section 3, the road to recovery, the global grind. Because this wasn't just a matter of resting and hoping for the best. No way. She embarked on this grueling global grind to get her elite health back. Step 1, she took her talents overseas, leading Elitu Ramla to a 2nd consecutive Israeli championship and grabbing the league's MVP honors while she was at it. Step 2, she embraced the innovative new women's 3-on-3 league, Unrivaled. You know, the one founded by WNBA stars Nafisa Collier and Breanna Stewart? She got drafted by the Lunar Owls for 2025, keeping her competitive fire burning right through the winter. And finally, Step 3, all of that tireless rehab and global conditioning culminated in a triumphant, totally healthy 2025 WNBA season. She appeared in a career-high 38 games. Actually, her return was so impressive, she won the 2025 Associated Press Comeback Player of the Year. Just incredible. And her return to health, it triggered a massive scoring leap. The growth is amazing. She went from 8.7 points per game as a rookie, jumping up to 12.7 points per game in her 2025 comeback season, and ticking up even further to 13.3 points per game in 2026. What this proves is that she didn't just recover from that torn hip labrum, she actually expanded her offensive repertoire. She became a significantly more dangerous scorer than she was even before the injuries. which perfectly sets up Section 4. 2026, Dominance Restored, a scary contender. When you break down her 2026 averages, it is so clear she's become an absolute force. She's averaging 13.3 points, 9.3 rebounds, and 2.7 assists per game. I mean, she is flirting with a double-double literally every single night she steps onto the hardwood. And this kind of production, it makes her a total nightmare for opposing WNBA defenses. They have to figure out how to keep her off the glass while simultaneously worrying about her incredible passing vision. Plus, for anyone playing fantasy basketball out there, she has become a high upside dream, massively rewarding the managers who are willing to take a risk on her draft day despite all that injury history. But it's not just about individual stats, right? This individual dominance totally changes the entire team context. It's like a giant puzzle finally coming together. With a fully healthy Shakira Austin anchoring the paint alongside incredibly talented young stars like Sonia Citron and Kiki Iriafen, who, remember, we saw assisting Austin perfectly in that Seattle game earlier, and with fellow center Lauren Betts sharing the frontcourt duties, wow, the synergy there makes the Washington Mystics a truly terrifying contender in the Eastern Conference. So what should you really take away from this explainer? Mostly, just a profound sense of awe at her journey. From the peak of being a top 3 draft pick down to the agonizing valley of back-to-back injury-plagued seasons to grinding it out overseas and ultimately restoring her dominance as a premier center in 2026, it's an incredible ride. And it leaves us with one final provocative thought to chew on. With her health fully restored and her numbers climbing higher than ever, is Shakira Austin the ultimate WNBA league winner? Definitely think about that the next time you watch the Mystics take the floor. Keep learning, keep following the stats, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.